Hello, and very happy to see you on my channel this week. And today we give you a piece of breaking news. Top General accused Harry of trading his military career for money. Says that Prince Harry turned his back on the Royal Marines after stepping down from the ceremonial role as part of the Megxit deal. Prince Harry has been accused of turning his back on the Royal Marines and criticized for his behavior by one of Britain's most celebrated military commanders. As part of the so-called Megxit deal that saw the Duke and Duchess of Sussex step back as senior royals earlier this year, Harry withdrew from his role as Captain General of the Marines. However, the prestigious post was left vacant in the hope that he might resume his ceremonial duties next year after the 12-month review of the new arrangements. But informed sources say the prince has not been in touch by phone, letter, nor email since his last appearance as an honorary Marine in March, prompting exasperated top brass to start considering a replacement. Last night, Major General Julian Thompson, who led 3 commando brigades during the 1982 Falklands War, said, "I'm not trying to give him a lecture, but he has to take the job seriously and not just say, well, I'm still the Captain General and I'm going to live in Los Angeles and never visit the UK. It's wrong. You can't do that. He is expected to attend events and be around and be as accessible as his grandfather was." I hope the rumors that William gets the role are true, because one thing's for sure, he would never snub a Royal Marines memorial event for a Disney premiere. The Royal Marines are real men, made of different stuff, and they need to respect their leaders. In Harry's case, this will never happen now that he has deserted. In a future apparent snub to the armed forces, Harry has failed to reply to a personal letter from Lord Donat, a former chief of the General Staff, requesting more support for Britain's military community. Lord Donat confirmed he had not received a reply to his note. It's unfortunate that Harry was awarded the prestigious role of Captain General of the Royal Marines, replacing as he did HRH Prince Philip. How angry his grandfather must have been when Harry skipped the memorial event for the fallen Royal Marines in favor of attending the premiere of The Lion King, where he touted his wife's voiceover skills. Harry has disrespected Her Majesty, the nation, the Commonwealth, and his former comrades in arms by abandoning his royal responsibilities, choosing instead to live a celebrity lifestyle in exile. It is really strange and inexplicable how he just walked away from that duty with no explanation. It was his biggest accomplishment. It was handed to him even though he didn't deserve it, and he trashed it by abandoning it. This thoughtless little woke boy man needs to listen more than he talks now, and actually take the advice he is given. Had he done that in the beginning, he would not be in the mess he's in now, and getting out of this mess is going to be a nightmare. Plus, among those in the military who serve Queen and country, Harry is known as the quit-twit. He's a weak-minded, bitter, and arrogant traitor who has kicked aside duty, loyalty, and honor and service to anything beyond his own immature, overbloated ego and that of his trashy, egotistical wife. Meghan Markle kicked aside her ailing father like a bag of rubbish, and Harry has done the same to his own family. Harry opted to attend a Disney premiere and embarrass those who watched him pitch the zealous Meghan Markle for a voiceover role instead of attending a memorial for fallen Marines. Harry isn't fit to remain in the line of succession, and he and Meghan Markle, a narcissistic bully, should be stripped of their HRH, titles, and patronages. Meanwhile, in other news, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have been told, quote, they can't have it both ways, following their departure from the royal family. During an interview with Express.co.uk, Republic CEO Graham Smith criticized the Duke and Duchess of Sussex for exploiting their royal family titles, despite stepping down from the monarchy in March 2020. Mr. Smith said, I would not suggest that anybody follows their example because they are trying to have it both ways. They are trying to exploit their status and titles for their own personal gain, as far as I can see. They need to make a decision, break away from the royal family completely, or don't, and stay with the royal family. The royals should separate themselves from the taxpayer, and we don't owe any of them a living. So I think they need to follow the example led by most ordinary, hardworking people in this country and pay their own way through life. The Republic CEO claimed Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are still using their royal family titles and status to cash in on lucrative deals. Mr. Smith said, "The fact that they have got this deal, I can't imagine why Netflix thinks it's a good idea, but good for them if that's what they're doing. The problem is that they haven't made a clean break. They still want to cash in on their status, on their titles as Duke and Duchess." He added, "Ultimately, when they walked away from the royal family at the beginning of the year, they should have said, 'We are going to be private citizens. We are going to work for our own money, whether that is in media, film, charity work, and we will no longer be the Duke and Duchess or royals, and we are just going to go it alone.' But they are trying to have it both ways. Part of this deal is cashing in on their status and titles. That is really not appropriate." Oh, I agree. If they can have it both ways, why are they still? They have done too much scrounging off of us, the British public, already, which should not have been allowed. They should be stripped of all titles and anything that goes with them. The ordinary, honest, hardworking people manage because they have to, and there's a difference, because they have to. Dimwit Harry and his greedy wife have caused more harm to the institution of monarchy than any campaigner for a republic could ever do. The pair of hypocrites want to be private citizens, but they also demand all the trappings and privileges of members of the royal family. A truly nasty pair. As for their charity works, etc., the only charity that will benefit first is the charity of them funding after dumping the royal family. Nothing these two do will ever be inspirational, as these two are the least inspirational pair in history. They do nothing that is inspiring. All Mimi has ever done is show young women of all races the way to get what you want is to use a man to get it. What is inspirational about that? Nothing. There is nothing inspiring about that dumb, pathetic waste of space Harry. He is the world's worst henpecked husband, so nothing inspiring there. And many fans also discussed this news today. A fan wrote, "This is yet another unforced error on Harry's part. When everything you do ends up in the newspapers, you need to answer calls and letters and pay attention to things like this. Certainly the palace could help him draft these replies. He should have asked them for help. Is Meghan forbidding any involvement with the palace PR? I wouldn't be surprised, given her words and actions. Still, Harry is a grown-up and should handle things better than this." But, a fan said, he was only a cardboard soldier himself when he was in the army, and all that money wasted on training him to fly Apaches when it could have been spent on someone more worthwhile and dedicated to having a military career. An action man on the shelves of a toy shop would get nearer the front line than he would have done in his little, well-protected enclave, with others putting their necks on the line to keep him safe. Better off without him. A user mocked, "Turning his back on the Royal Marines is probably one of the least of his crimes. He will go down in history as the man who not only turned his back on his family, the Queen, and the whole country, but then went on to abuse them all. With one hand, he abuses the royal family, yet with the other continues to grab all the privileges he can, whilst preaching about how wrong they are. He makes an absolute twit of himself every time he opens his mouth to read out the words written for him. What a shame the position of court jester is no longer used. He would be perfect for it." And one last one concluded, "Good. Glad someone decided to put hopeless Harry in his place. Strip him of all his titles. Give the title of Captain General of the Marines to William. Meghan Markle will never let him live or let him work in the UK. She has taken everything from Harry that he knew and made him happy. It's his fault. Now man up and stay in your wonderful mansion and stop whining about what you had once upon a time. It's over. I don't think the UK wants you back either. And you? What do you think of my news? Please discuss with me in the comments section, and everyone also talk about them together. If you so prefer my video this week, don't be afraid to like and share it for anyone you want. Also subscribe to the Sussex Daily News team on YouTube to get more videos by us. Now thank you for watching, goodbye, and see you in the next videos.